Hi, Pearls, and welcome back to our channel. I'm April, life coach, co-founder, co-creator of Lena's Pearls,
And I'm Josh, aka Hubby Bear.
co-life coach. This guy. Anyway, welcome back to our channel. The truth about marriage, and this is actually part 2 of infidelity and dealing with infidelity. So, we wanted to discuss more in part 2 of a continuation of, how we got
Yes.
through. If you didn't see part 1, please stop and go back and watch part 1. I'll leave the link to part 1 down below to hear, a little bit of our personal story and our journey in dealing with this ourselves. But how we got through. This is all about how we got through. We still are.
Yes.
We still are. As you saw in part 1, we still are. It is still a wound that is sore. And I'm a firm believer on pain doesn't go away. Your body just learns to adapt to it, and it is no different than the heart. It's constant work.
Yes.
Constant work. And then, for us, since we like to use ourselves as an example, we already shared our story. For me, how I was able to forgive and not even so much forgive, but move on and stay married and stay with Josh is I took ownership and accountability. I knew that he was not getting, especially sexually, he was not receiving what he needed from me. I knew that. I knew I was opening Pandora's box and leaving the door wide open for that. And because I was being selfish with that, because I was not receiving what I needed from him in order to want to be sexual, and that's why we talked about that when we talked about sex. Talk about sex in our, needs, wants, and expectations in sex, in our series. That's one of the lessons that we did learn, and that was what was happening in this marriage was he wasn't investing what I needed, physically, emotionally, all of that, and the legs were pretty much closing on him. And because he, as he shared in part 1 of this, didn't really care to invest in me, but he was stepping out. But and again, it just added more damage because he just
Yes.
kept being unfaithful and I kept doing whatever and so forth. So I took a step back to move forward, and I did. It was accountability and it was hope. It was hope that
Yes.
our marriage would be worth it to him, that I would be worth it to him, that it was hope. It was constant hope. And I had a praying mother, God rest her soul, that loved her son-in-law. Sometimes I felt more than she loved me. My mother prayed on this. My mother kept praying on this marriage, boy. My mother probably still up there interceding for this marriage. It was that, but I've always, like we said, part 1, I'm a realist. I am, and I knew. And then also, just to kind of lump all of the first part of this for me is I knew that I had a good husband. I did. I knew I had a good husband. I had been out here. You know what I mean? Like, there's 7 years between my marriages. And I dated. I know what it's like. And so I say that to say I know what a no good man is versus, and I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna do a video on this for women too. These good men will put you through sometimes more than the no good men. At least with the no good men, you know what you're dealing with. My mom used to say the bigger the rock, the bigger the issues, But I just was a realist. I mean, and I had faith in him. I had hope. It wasn't love. You didn't hear me not one time say love, because I could love you and you could be over there. It wasn't love. It was not love. It was hope, and it was accountability. And I took ownership when I really sat and thought, and when we started to do the work to get to where we are now. But that was the
Yeah.
first part for me on my side. So we're going to do the forgiving
Yes.
and the forgiven. So
we forgot our joke.
Oh, and we did. Sorry, we got all into it.
Yeah, we forgot.
Please join us. Please drink with us on this. Yes. Get your beverage of choice and sit back, relax, and join us. You see, I've already been
Yes.
sipping.
So yeah, as far as when it comes to accountability and
Mm-hmm.
everything, I had to really admit and realize what I actually did and
Mm-hmm.
what damage it actually caused. But then after that, if you really want it to work, then you really have to commit and do what it takes to gain the trust back. To look, and not that I was always one to go out with friends or cousins, family, and drink and this and that, but
Not
it
with your work
was it
schedule.
was a point where when I was trying to gain her trust back, it was like 6, 7 months that I didn't go out at all after work. Not for drinks. I just came straight home, and whether I was next to her or she was in the next room or whatever, I just made sure I came home.
Mm-hmm.
I was texting her, babe, I'm about to leave work. So she knew what time I was coming home. So it just to make sure that it was a trust factor where, look, this is what time I just text you. I'm coming home. I got home at this time. You know how long it takes me to get home.
That's right.
And sometimes, look, even though, like I said, for me, it was 6, 7 months before I went out with cousins and friends for drinks, but sometimes it might take longer than that. Sometimes it might be less than that. But it takes work to gain that trust back and just know it. Look, it got to the point where different stuff. If something popped up on my phone, babe, look at this.
Yep. Yep.
Look at this
He
mess.
did, and that's yeah, because you're not even telling that part. Like, so when it all came out, and like I said, see part one to get the whole story. But when it all came out, because she had left the door. Remember when the situation came to the door, whatever, she had left. I had never gotten that face to face with her. What I got was her on the phone, still wanting to fight with him about whatever. And I took the phone and I actually walked our entire apartment complex that we lived in at the time for probably about 6 hours on his phone talking to this chick. And she ran the
It wasn't
tapes.
6 hours.
It was a
probably
long,
about an hour.
It was light. And by the time I came in the house, it was dark and his battery was dying. So she ran tapes. And what part we missed to say in the first part, it was a 3-year off and on and again affair. So she ran the tapes. And she ran the tapes in hopes that, I was going to leave him and I guess the prize was going to be you. But she doesn't understand the type of chick I am. It wasn't going to be no fairy tale. But anyway, so what he would then do on top of the making sure he checked in and all of that. And here's the thing. Those were things that he decided to do. I didn't even ask him
It was
to do
nothing.
that.
Yeah.
But he would, like, his phone was no longer like off limits, and not that it ever was.
Yeah, I never had a
just never did
passcode on
that.
my phone or
Right,
anything
we
like
didn't
that.
have
Anyway, I
that.
never.
Like, it was
Yeah.
never you had to trust. It was never. We both do, but it was like he was sending me screenshots, and he would like it was like I had access to her fully now, and when she would try, because she still was trying, and I'm telling you, and anyway. And I started to respond and started to check her and started to let her know if I see you, I'm going, whatever. Anyway, I don't condone that. I'm just saying, listen, some people need their feelings hurt. Anyway, so
Yes.
he was, it just, was that. But I didn't mean to cut you off, babe. Go ahead.
No,
I just wanted to add that in.
No,
Like,
that's what I was just saying. As far as you have to be mindful. I mean, after you've been caught and it's out there, and if you really want it to work, I mean, look, if you don't, then I'd say just walk away. Let your spouse get a divorce, separate, whatever. Let them be happy.
yes, talk about that.
If you know you aren't going to change, if you know you're still going to be doing the same thing, there's no
you
sense.
know you're not ready to do
I mean,
the
you could
work.
always apologize, but if you know you're still going to be doing the same stuff, then just call it.
Let it
just
go.
Go be single, do your thing,
Let it
and
go.
just
Let it
go
go.
out there and do it. Like,
Let it go.
it's that simple.
Let it go.
But
If we
I
don't-
knew for me,
Right.
I didn't want to lose her. When it came down to it, and just the fact that my thought was, what if this chick came to the door with a gun or a knife
Yeah, true.
and tried to do harm?
Some acid. She could have even did something to the
Type
kid. Yeah,
type
true.
thing.
True.
What if she did something to her vehicle to make her get into an accident or something? So that's what came to me, what I thought about. Because after calling the cops, and this mug still like pretty much beat me home type mess. Like, so that's where, like I said, that was the end all be all for me. That's when I said, look, I don't care how long I got to be in the doghouse. I'm going to do what I got to do, gain my wife's trust back, and it's all about me and her. Ain't nobody getting in this circle ever again, period.
Yep. And then that is a constant work. So just to kind of
Yes.
piggyback off of what Josh was saying, as the forgiver, I'm going to tell you, number one, y'all know who y'all married to. I mean, let's just be real about it.
Yeah.
You know who you could probably get one or two situations off with, and you know the one that ain't playing, let it happen once. And just to agree with him, if you are not, it's going to take work, and it's going to take you being very selfless, and it's going to
Yes.
take commitment. And if you, like Josh said, if you aren't ready to do the work, don't bother. But
Yeah.
I'm going to switch this over. As the forgiver, if you know when you sit in the tears and get it all, do your thing, and as you saw in the first video, sometimes the tears still come out of nowhere. I mean, you know the type of person you are. If you know it's just not going to be the same, and it's never going to be the same, but if you know that it's just
Yes.
not. You know that it's going to always be a problem. You're going to throw this up in their face left and right, and you're going to make them pay for the rest of their lives. Don't even bother. Let them go.
Yes.
Just end it. Just let it go. There is no point in, you're going to make your boat. Why
Yeah.
do you want to live like
Because
that?
between the two of you, if somebody is harboring ill will and this and that, it's always going to be some spitefulness. It's always going to be somebody bitter.
If you're not,
It's going to, the slightest little thing will lead to an argument.
and throwing it back up in their face.
And then next day, and look, and like I said, it could end up leading to more to that.
Yep.
Because, okay, say if you got a registered gun or something, and you just fed up where, okay, well, I'm going to take you and me out.
Yeah, or right off this cliff.
It ain't worth it. But
Yeah.
that's, don't even let it get to that point. Just, if you done, you done. Let it be done.
Exactly.
Go separate ways.
Yes.
But if both y'all is on the same page,
Right.
and y'all can communicate and work things out and forgive. Like I said, you don't have to forget, but if at least you can forgive and get past and then work on making it stronger, then so be it.
Right. Now, I will say this, though, to kind of like give a side note to what I just said, as far as if you know that you just know that and you just, just free yourself and just stop and leave it be and work on separating and departing. But my second second side of the coin is, and I've actually coached this to some of my private clients, is nobody can tell you when and if and how to leave your husband or your wife. Period, point blank. Grieve in your way, grieve in your time, and as the forgiven, you have to allow for that. That's what Josh was saying. It's going to sometimes be ugly, it's going to sometimes be pretty. And truth be told, you don't know how long it's going to take. Everybody's different. It could be good this year and something to come on the radio, or you'll see something and boom, you're right back to where you were. And guess what? You have to decide that you're willing to deal with that. Both sides to deal with that. And you have to stay, and I'll get into that. But so, even if it's not right now, and you're okay now, and because you both have to make the decision that you're going to make it work. One can't be in and the other out, and all. It's not going to work that way. I'm sorry, it's just not.
Yeah.
You both have to make the plan that, okay, we're both going to move forward, because that's what it's about. It's about moving forward. And in the moving forward, still dealing with it and burying the old bones and all of that kind of stuff, but you can't go back and dig them back up. And I'm trying to bring this little point home because it's kind of like such a gray area, but if you get to the point, I'll say, that even in the work and you're trying and he's or she is doing whatever it takes and da-da-da-da. I said da-da-da. Shoot, I almost didn't say it. If you do come to the point where I can't, I'm hurting too bad. I've tried, but I'm never going, it's just not, I can't get past this and I'm done. And it depends, it's your time. A year, 2 years, however long, because we even talking about Grenada.
Yeah.
Let the person know. I've tried, sit them down and talk to them and let them know. I think it's probably best that we work on separating and divorce. Okay? Because like I said, nobody can tell you how long and what you need to do to agree. You just, everybody's different. And sometimes the shock needs to come off of you. Sometimes, depending on what happened, sometimes you need a minute to just, wow, just toss all the pieces and bring them back down and, okay, now let me sort. Some people have a delayed reaction. So, so I say, there's a couple folds to that, but that is primarily my point,
But things do come up often, because like today, she didn't say anything to me, but she asked me a question at the gas station because there was a female in a BMW, nothing to do with us, but went in the store and came out, which I already knew. I didn't even say anything, but she asked me because the certain female I was dealing with that pulled up and seen me talking to the other female happened to be in a BMW. So that triggered that, even though she forgot.
Not really forget.
Well, not forgot, but forgave.
Yes, move forward.
But once she saw that BMW and that triggered the thought, oh, well, have you heard from such and such? Has she been to the shop? No. I didn't say anything, but I knew that's what triggered it.
But he owns it and takes it, and he knows that's part of the work.
Yes.
So, and it's been years. So it's, listen, if you're not ready for it and you can't deal with it and it's not worth it to you, we're telling you now, look, mom, see? Remember I said I had a praying mother. Here go mom again chiming.
On that note, Mom, love you.
Yeah, we're still making it work, Mom. My mother was on her knees about this marriage, boy, praying with tears in her eyes on this marriage. Doesn't it? She said, don't let no woman take your husband. Josh is a good man, and da-da-da-da. But anyway. All right, so is it you? Well, we kind of talked about deciding.
We pretty much covered everything.
That part, realize, okay.
Yeah.
So then also the next part of that is realize that I realized this goes back to the forgiving. I realized that it was his choice and it really wasn't about me. And I talked about this in my infidelity video, but it took a lot of soul searching and a lot of crying and hurting. I mean, I lost like 16 pounds off of this show. This was the final blow, because this one hit hard. I realized that it wasn't me, that it wasn't really. I did take ownership of the things that I was not giving him, and I did own what I needed also from him to give him what he needed. But when it was all said and done, I realized that I didn't make him do anything.
Exactly.
He chose to do this stuff. Not to justify it or anything like that.
But
I did not. I'm not one of those females who signs on to the whole, if you was doing what you was supposed to be doing. I mean, that might have been true, but at the end of the day, just like he chose to cheat, he could have chose to leave. So, there's that. And then
that's why I say ultimately the bottom line is communication.
Yes. And be present.
I could have easily been the bigger man, and instead of stepping out, I could have came to her like, look,
I'm not happy.
I'm not happy. I'm not getting as much sex as I want, or whatever. We're not spending as much time as I want. But communication is the key to it all. And look, and just to be honest, look, we keeping it real. There's times that I've had to go jerk off because I'm still trying to build up trust, and something might have triggered where I get home and I'm thinking everything is good, and she's up there crying. I got to hug her, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe something was going to go down. No. So I got to go handle me and get that urge off and still work on trust and building. But it's communication that is going to make everything better. You have to constantly communicate.
You do.
No matter what. That's the one big key is communication. Well, no matter what it is, you always have. Look, I didn't feel this. I need this. I need that. I need a hug. But you have to communicate.
Because sometimes you're not walking into tears. Sometimes you'll walk into an attitude, and I don't even know what triggered me, and I'm just walking around mad. Sometimes I actually wake up mad because of whatever dream or whatever the case is. And I'm like, darn, I don't even and I start thinking, I'm like, oh, and I start treating him bad because it's like, we're real.
I remember that one time.
I was like, I was hot with you, boy. I woke up, I'm like, darn, but it's part of the process. It's part of the moving forward. If it's worth it to you and you've made the decision to stick with it and move it, you're going to, both of you, you're going to be dealing with it. And then 2, I've also been able to move forward because I decided to be even more present. I always prided myself on being present, but apparently I wasn't. And I checked myself in some ways, and I took ownership, and I'm present. And when I realized those things, by taking the ownership and being present, I tell Josh, I'm thinking such and such and such. I'm having a moment, because sometimes I just say, babe, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just mad, and I'm just, sometimes it's just that. But so if you've made the commitment, you have to keep the commitment. Marriage is communication and work.
Yes.
I really don't. I mean, that's about as black and white as
Yeah.
I can make it for you. It is, and it's not easy. And there's so many
Yes,
things.
no.
The institute of marriage is so battled against
Yes.
in today's society. I mean,
Yeah.
that's another reason why we do this channel, because we want you to want you to just realize that it's universal in a lot of ways. Everybody's dealing with it. We look
Yeah.
good. Nobody probably would have even thought this story, those except the family members that
Yeah.
know that until we shared this.
Some people might even think different of me now.
Yeah.
But
Some women might think different of me.
we're
She's
being
stupid,
real.
da-da-da.
It's-
But hey, this is my marriage. I don't have to justify staying with my husband. And that's another thing to those. I don't have to justify anybody staying with my husband, because I didn't need to justify to anybody to marry him, and vice versa. He didn't have to
Yeah.
it's your marriage. That's what we've said plenty of times before. So went a little longer than we wanted to do, but we wanted to discuss. We're going to be talking about this a little bit more in depth, and really, go over this at our upcoming event this January, January 26, 2020, Candlelight You. Tickets are on sale. All you have to do is instant message us, DM us, email us for tickets. They're $125 per couple, any couple. It's grown and sexy, open bar, dinner included. We're going to have raffles and gifts, giveaways.
have
It's
a
going to
good
really
time.
nice time. It's really going to be good. So
It's going down.
and we posting so that leads me to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Those links will be down below, because we always post everything in those groups. In the group and on Instagram, as far as all the updates regarding that event, because we will be bringing it down after Christmas. We're going to wind it down to ticket sales. So, and also gift it to somebody. If you're not coupled up, if you don't have a boo to bring, and somebody, you got a couple that you got to buy for,
Yeah.
get some
There you
tickets.
go.
Tell them, hey,
Nice and easy, one and done.
it's going to be here in Vineland, New Jersey. If you need directions or anything or any additional info, feel free to email us. You can email Josh at
Josh@lenaspearls.com.
and you can email me at April@lenaspearls.com. You can also email us if you would like to schedule private coaching calls with one of us. If you would like to give us some input, if you would like to, you need somebody to confide in, or you'd like some advice, or if you would like to give us some content ideas for the channel, we love that.
Yes.
Open
you
up
guys
the.
hit us on Instagram and Facebook.
Yep. Those links
Always
will be
join
down.
the Facebook group.
Yes, because we act up in that group. I have been a little MIA in the group, but also open up
Don't
the comments.
forget to subscribe.
Yes. Well, wait a minute, babe. Open up the comments below. Share.
Open up the comments.
Open up the comments down below. We love to engage with our subscribers and so forth and so on. And now you can say
Yes.
like
Subscribe, like, share.
yes. Don't
Like
forget.
coffee, soda, tea. Subscribe, like, share.
Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of every time we upload on the channel. Anything else, babe?
Think that be all, boss.
Oh,
that
boy,
note.
on that note.
That's all.
Until
folks.
next time, take care and be blessed, guys. What am I going to do with you?